So, hello. It's been probably 3 weeks, maybe a little bit over 3 weeks since I did my last video, and it was on mastocytosis, and it was part 2. Um, at the very end, I said, I'm not feeling very well, so I need to listen to my body and go rest. And this has been my first week that I've not been sick. Since then, I ended up having a major attack. Um, it was probably one of the worst ones I've had in 15 years. And I believe it was because I got food poisoning. Um, I'd had a burrito at, I think it was Costa Vida. And for some reason, I got so ill. Within a half hour, I was wishing for death. But like always, I've survived. I'm here. And so, yeah, it's all good. Um, I ended up taking a lot of Benadryl, which I normally do not do. Benadryl and I have had a love-hate relationship for the past like 33 years. And it, it's uh, it's actually saved me, and it's also almost killed me. So I was going to tell you a little bit about that. It's like a million degrees here today, and so I came to one of my favorite places that I like to visit when I just want to get away and think or talk to my spirit self or my spirit guides and my angels, and that is in a certain cemetery that is it means a lot to me. I actually was proposed to in this cemetery at one point. um, anyway, there are a lot of old tombstones, and I also volunteer for a group called Find a Grave. And what that is if you're looking for, if you happen to be doing family history, or you're just curious and you can't find where someone is buried, or you want to see their tombstone, you can get online, findagrave.com, and it has volunteers like me who will go around to cemeteries and take photos of the headstones and then upload them so that people can then find the information. Some of them are really interesting. One in this particular cemetery that I found says killed by Indians on his headstone. The ones that always really tug at my heart are the children, because there's so many children buried in this cemetery. Life was not easy in the early 1800s in Utah, and this cemetery really helps you understand that. Okay, I digress. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I'm out here today, and I hope you can hear me because I forgot my mic. I was just out driving and ended up here, and then I thought, well, it's nice and shady. Maybe I should make a video since it's been 3 weeks. Long story. So, yes, Benadryl and I. When I was really deathly ill, probably, I want to say 90% of my time, and I would spend 70% of that time in bed. It was my systemic mastocytosis, my SM, was so aggressive, and the doctors had told me that they didn't think I would last 3 years. And so I had been injecting Benadryl in my hips to try to get the attacks to slow down. when they would first start. And that worked better than taking the pills, but it didn't work fast enough. And I would still be sick like I was this past 3 weeks. I would still be sick, and all of a sudden I've lost a month of my life. And I had children to raise at the time, and so that made it equally or extra hard, I should say. And so what they did was they put a port in my chest. I don't know if you can see some of the scars, but I think that's one. And so I was able to put the Benadryl directly into my port, which went directly into my bloodstream. Knocked me out so quickly. I still would get really sick, but it did shorten the initial attack. It didn't shorten the length of the attack. And I guess what I mean is it didn't shorten the effects of the attack. So with SM, with mastocytosis, it's like a chain reaction. It sets off some mast cells, boom, 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 and then the next one sets off that one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Well, by the time you get the first ones calmed down, you got a whole big set to calm down. And so it literally takes sometimes hours, days, weeks. I've even had it last months after surgery, especially because my body just does not like to be disturbed at all. So anyway, back to the port issue. So the port was working somewhat, and then I had it for 6 years and it stopped working. For some reason, it just wasn't letting me insert the needles anymore. So what they did was they took this one out and they moved it to the other side. And instead of having a surgeon do it, which I should have known better, because that's who placed my first one, they had the radiology department do it. Well, it was put in askew, and so I could never access it well. So while I was struggling to access this port for the next few weeks, it became infected, and the infection went straight into my bloodstream. A long story that I'll tell in another video. I ended up in the ER and having emergency open heart surgery twice within 3 weeks because the bug that I got was like some super bug and they couldn't figure out how to kill it, and it ate away my mitral heart valve. That does not go well with systemic mastocytosis. So I had teams of surgeons working on me at the University of Virginia. Dr. Crone did an amazing job, saved my life against my will. Another video. Anyway, I'm still here. Haven't given up. Wanted to 3 weeks ago. Angels never let me. So hang in there. It'll be all right. Even if you're sick, tomorrow's a new day. And even if that day's a little bit sick, the next day's a new day. So I had a comment on one of my videos that said, "Oh my God, I feel so much worse about my disease. I don't think I can keep watching." I'm just trying to be real with you. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I had so many doctors who would tell me, "Oh, it's going to be horrible. You're going to wish for death." And then I would have so many doctors say, "Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine." Well, I wasn't fine. I was experiencing all of these things, and the ones that I appreciate the most are the ones who are honest with me and straightforward. So, do you have to give up life? No. Do you have to learn to live in a bubble? Yes. And you have to determine how big that bubble is. So, take notes, keep track, know that the brain fog is normal. You're not going crazy. Sometimes you just kind of are out of it a little bit. I'm more than happy to answer questions, so feel free. And I'm going to walk around the cemetery and see if there's any headstones that are interesting and talk to a few people. So take care. I hope you're all feeling well. Everybody's doing good and staying safe. And know that you're loved. Bye.